You started your journey in the entrepreneurship by owning the Oud Metha franchise of one of the biggest chain restaurants in the world, Kailash Parbat. So how has it been, and what differentiates, or what is the key factors that you have improved after taking the ownership?
So Kailash Parbat happened to be one of them because it's a big brand, Kailash Parbat. It started way back in 1950s in Bombay with the humble beginnings, obviously, and then now they've grown up to be globally known for some of the best cuisines as well, a vegetarian cuisine. They do Sindhi food, and a big brand actually. So when you latch on to that brand and start off, your risk of not making enough profits, let me put it that way. Initially when you start, you have to build your brand. That particular cycle is a bit shortened because once people know the brand, let's say they know Kailash Parbat, then people come for the brand. If they don't know, let's say I start Pradeep. Now, unless I give something really unique food and I bring a unique taste and unique idea, or there should be an USP, what they call, unless I bring something that, you would not be known in the market so easily. It takes time. Then you have to fight, you have to stand apart. It takes a bit of a cycle and a time. But that cycle can be cut short if you know you have a brand that is backing you. So that's how we have started. And the brand owner here has been very, very friendly with us. I mean, he's been very helpful as well. So what he did was he gave us certain leeway not to change the menu or anything. The menu is kept the same because obviously the brand has got its own menu. But then he gave us a little leeway to say, if you want to add anything further, you can do it. So we could customize a little bit, additional dishes, additional cuisines in our thing and elaborate it. So that gives us more opportunities to invite more customers, those kind of who like the different palette. That's how we did. And thanks till today, it's been almost a year now. We're doing good. We have grown very fast.
Hello viewers, welcome to another episode powered by Me to Connect, Hotseat with Host. I'm your host, Kishore Kumar. I'm the founder and resident of MindPixel Solutions, providing services in augmented reality, virtual reality, and other tech services. Our guest today is a prominent corporate leader turned entrepreneur, Mr. Pradeep. Mr. Pradeep, welcome.
Thank you. Well,
and so glad to have you here. And before
so
we start, I think most of our viewers who don't know you would like to know a brief introduction from yourself. It would be good that if you can provide a brief intro.
Sure. Thank you, Kishore. Thanks for having me. My name is Pradeep, as you all know. I mean, not many. I've been very silent. I'm not a very prominent figure on the internet or anything. But yes, I've been in the corporate world. I'm an engineer. Did my graduation in engineering and then went on to do a lot of studies. Not a nerd. But yes, I went on to do my own studies and then continued all my career in the corporate life. Initially in the engineering sector for about 8-10 years. Then I ventured into IT sector for about 10 years. Then I ventured into mining for about 8 years, and finally I had my calling, and then now I turned into an entrepreneur. So initially we spent a lot of time. I mean, when I say we, I'm going to always say we because I'm including as my entrepreneurial journey started. It was more so me and my other partners as well who joined. And so I came to Dubai about a year ago, to help. And there's another startup called Sprints on which they wanted some assistance and others. So I came in to help them as well. And then from there, another thing came up and we said, why don't we start a food venture? Because that was something, I am one of a very good foodie. I like food. So that let me start that as well. And I ventured into a restaurant business. We have taken franchisee of Kailash Parbat. Then we took that franchisee. And after about a month's time from there, we then realized we just needed another one. We'll talk about in detail on each one of those. But then we started off another venture. It's called Pranam Restaurant, which was also a banquet hall and others that we went and took that over. So that's how my journey is. I mean, mostly from a corporate background where from an IT, non-IT, been there, done all that. And one fine day, I took my calling and then I'm here.
That's great. I mean, it takes a lot of courage to take the plunge from having a big career in a big Fortune 500 corporate industry, and then finally taking some big risk and moving on your career.
Yes.
So how did it feel? Like, what all challenges you had to face? Because usually when people, I see everyone has that dream of starting something on their 100%. Own. Everybody wants to be their own boss.
Yes.
But hardly, I would say, like out of 100, maybe 30 or 40% people would take that risk, out of which many would fail. So did you have those fear aspects, or did anyone support you as a mentor, or did you have a role model, or do you have a proper milestone that you wanted to achieve, or you had a proper plan?
Oh, wonderful. I never thought of something like that. To be honest, the questions that you're posing made me think like, okay, must I have a plan, or should I have done this or not? Well, I didn't do anything like that. I mean, to be very honest, I was talking to someone this morning. I was also telling them fear of losing a paycheck wouldn't allow us to be an entrepreneur. When you're working in a corporate world where you're getting all your paychecks every month on month, and then you start planning your life hoping that this month on month paycheck will be there perpetually forever, and that's why you start making investments in your car, house, and everything. And then a fear of losing that, even a month, if I lose it, what happens? That puts a lot of people not to take that extra jump or a mile or a risk in their life. So it's just not wrong, which is not wrong. It's good to do a job. I'm not saying you shouldn't do a job, but some people have their calling in a passion that always drives them to do something on their own, something they're not satisfied with what they are doing. That's always there. So those are the people who would like to jump and try something. I mean, risk takers. You'll always find these kind of people. Some are risk takers, some are risk averse. So it's fine. As we always say, five fingers don't
Yeah.
are all not the same, but together they all do a good function of holding a
Correct.
fist. So yeah, that's how it has always been. So with me personally, what happened was right from I should put it this way. So my dad was an entrepreneur, so he had his own venture that he was running. From childhood, we have always seen him independent working, and it was always there in us. We are three brothers. It was always in us to do something. So for initially, both my brothers took the plunge. I was the one hesitating a bit, to be honest. But then later on, I also told myself, now that I've done the corporate life for a very long time, I said 1 or 2 years of sabbatical, even if you take it that way, I'm just taking a break for a year or two. I don't think it'll harm. So if I really want to go back, I'll try my dreams. If it works, it's good. If it doesn't work, I always have the corporate job to go back. So that's how I took this decision, because I always wanted to do this, and in my life I've been twice or thrice close to starting. I've seen some places, I went and started, kind of laid my hands in there, and how did it work, just to feel it. But then it requires a lot of effort and dedication as well. Many a times they say that if you want to sail both the boats, one leg here, one leg there, it becomes very difficult. If I were to focus on my corporate life and also say that I'll start my business on the side, when it picks up, I'll do it. And it is a kind of business that you choose. If you're looking at something like this, if you want to be a passive investor, that is a good business model. Personally, I invest, just be an investor. But you want to get your hands dirty, then you need to leave one and jump onto the other. You can't hold two branches and say I will fly. So that's what it was. So I took this plunge. I did not plan for it or anything. All I told myself is, if I don't do now, I'll always have my regrets that sure, I should have done this before. So I didn't want to get into that regret. So I said, let me start now, give myself a couple of years, and then go.
So how do you feel now? Was it the right decision? I mean, you said that you need to take risk. You'll give it a chance. So do you think that if you didn't take that chance at that time, will you be regretting it? How do you feel right now?
And they always say, when you've taken the decision, I always think, if I had taken this 20 years ago, my life would have
True.
been different. But
True.
there's always a right time when you do things. The universe also puts us in the right path, and everything has got its own time. Probably this is my right calling. This is my right time to do. And if you ask me, how's it been? It's been really good, amazing. We are doing good. Touch wood, everything is going well. With the restaurants business, with the other business as well, everything is picking up. It's on the upside. So I'm happy that I took this plunge. No regrets at all at the end of the day. So that's fine.
Yeah, great. So you started your journey in the entrepreneurship by owning the Oud Metha franchise of one of
Yes.
the biggest chain restaurants in the
Yes.
world, Kailash Parbat.
Mhm.
So how has it been, and what differentiates, or what is the key factors that you have improved after taking the ownership?
So let me put it this way. Kailash Parbat, and again, I mean, there are various school of thought saying, what do you want to do? You want to create your own brand? You want to do this? What's the easiest way? Actually, if I were to really say, to reach a particular destination, there are 100 ways. how you reach your
Yeah.
destination. Okay, not each lane is a correct one. Okay, let me put it this way: you can take any direction, any way, but you will reach the destination. At the end of the day, what is your destination? Whatever you define your goal, that is what it is. So Kailash Parbat happened to be one of them because it's a big brand. Kailash Parbat, it started way back in 1950s in Bombay, with a humble beginnings, obviously, and then now they've grown up to be globally known for some of the best cuisines as well, vegetarian cuisine. They do Sindhi food, and a big brand actually. So for me, it was always good to see with my partners who also come from, obviously, again, coming back from a corporate to this particular restaurant business, I don't have that experience or exposure. So I had to team up with someone who actually knows this business. One of my partners is in the business for about 8-10 years in Dubai. So he understands this business very well. So with him, I bring a lot of ideas from the corporate side as well. So how can we then imbibe that, and how can we make things better? So predominantly in the restaurant industry, mostly it works on everyday numbers for them. They look at everyday numbers. They say, okay, have I made this money? What am I making? What's the top line? But what they don't see is analytics driven as well.
Mm.
So that's where we bring up some kind of from a corporate experience that I bring up to say, okay, we have done this much. Where have we lacking? What is lacking? Can we find out from our data that we have collected for so long? Those kind of things is where some intelligence is getting built through data that we are doing. So that's the value addition we've had. And from a Kailash Parbat brand perspective, it's a big brand. So when you latch onto that brand and start off, your risk of failure, I must put it, or when I say failure, I wouldn't want to call it failure, because in business everything is an opportunity.
Yes.
Your risk of not making enough profits, let me put it that way, initially when you start, you have to build your brand. That particular cycle is a bit shortened.
Mm.
Because once people know the brand, let's say they know Kailash Parbat, then people come for the brand. If they don't know, let's say I start Pradeep now, unless I give something really unique food, and I bring a unique taste and unique idea, or there should be an USP, what they call. Unless I bring something that, you would not be known in the market so
True.
easily. It takes time. Then you have to fight, you have to stand apart. It takes a bit of a cycle and a time. And again, as I'm saying this, I'm also thinking in my mind, some people are born that way, lucky, because some of them shoot right at the first day and then they make good business, but some of them take some time. But that cycle can be cut short if you know you have a brand that is backing you. So that's how we have started. And the brand owner here has been very, very friendly with us. I mean, he's been very helpful as well. So what he did was he gave us certain leeway, not to change the menu or anything. The menu is kept the same because obviously the brand has got its own menu. But then he gave us a little leeway to say, if you want to add anything further, you can do it. So we could customize a little bit, additional dishes, additional cuisines in our thing, and elaborate it. So that gives us more opportunities to invite more customers, those kind of who like the different palette. So that's how we did. And thanks till today, it's been almost a year now. We're doing good. We have grown very fast. Yeah.
You also own another business, which is Pranam
Yes.
Banquet and Restaurant.
Mm.
So I'm sure that, as you mentioned earlier, that you understood a lot about working in this industry for a little bit. So did you do the SWOT analysis, and did it help in building up this another brand? And how successful have you been in
Okay.
after taking over that?
Good. So when we took over Pranam, we did do the SWOT analysis, you might say, not like on paper and pen, but in our minds. When we had our partners, we all sat down. Actually, this happened very quick after we bought, this franchisee. When we invested in this franchisee, we realized around this area in Oud Metha, there has not been a banquet hall or anything. And it so happened also, when we took over, we started getting a lot of guests, because known to us. And as I said, my partner who's been in this industry, he actually comes from background. His background is, he used to lead another huge Italian brand. So he's known in the market for that as well. Okay. So Italian restaurant that he was running. So he's known in the market for that. A lot of people come for Italian. So we crafted some menu. And then what we realized was, when a big group comes, your seating capacity in your restaurant is reduced, right? Suppose there's a small party that's coming, let's say birthday party that people are asking for, and now you cordon off a portion of your restaurant for that party. right? Then you realize your regular customers who are coming now, they can't come in because we are already having something like this. Or for example, I even say tourists. I mean, tourists are coming to our place, they want to dine at our place. So if I give away 30 seats of my tourists, and then what will the other people do, so we started looking for an option. What is the nearby place that we can go to? And the only thing that we could look for was, to be honest, there was nothing. So then we said, okay, this one was available very close to our place, Kailash Parbat in Oud Metha. Very close to that, we found another restaurant called Orange Tree. So we bought that restaurant, and then we, instead of using it as a restaurant alone, we started using it for all these functions, small parties, or somebody wants to use it as a banquet hall, somebody wants to use it for something else. So we started using that. So then now it's been very successful there as well. We have had, funny enough, in that small place, we have had some events that went out. We had a book launch, we had an art camp and stuff like the small events, small events people wanted to do. And we used to cater from Kailash Parbat itself. So we used to cater from there, and it's going good. So that venture we started off, and from there also we embarked on, you could see some of these. I mean, SVS is another brand from we have not launched it as a brand as yet. It's in the initial phases. We are testing the market. So we do our own sweets and namkeens and farsans, how they say in Hindi, all the sweet meat and savories. So we started manufacturing our own sweets and savories. So that's also something that we do.
Awesome. That's awesome. So I'll definitely like to try those.
Sure. That's why it's here.
Yeah.
Tempting people.
Yeah. So Dubai is a place where you find a lot of cuisines, enormous picks you can find, and people have a lot of options. So how do you cater every taste buds, every person's taste buds? Because usually people have different opinions. I mean, even if you serve them top class quality food, you'll still have two opinions.
Correct.
Right? So how you cater that?
Very interesting question. I always say taste is very personal.
Yeah.
At home itself, if we are three brothers, we three don't like the same kind of food as well. Taste is very, very personal. So yes, I'm not here to please everyone, for that word, if I may use, please, or quench their palate. But having said that, as I said, Kailash Parbat is very much known for its Sindhi and Punjabi food. Okay, North Indian. The more so, not even North Indian, I'll call it on the West Indian side, Mumbai and others, those kind of food. So we do we attract a lot of Sindhi customers. When they come and have food from us, they actually feel at home. This is something that I personally spoke to a few Sindhis. I called them, and when they have the food, they say that, oh, this is very nice. I feel like I've had, my mom used to make a similar one like this, like the sai bhaji, Sindhi curries and dal pakwans and others. So it actually gives me a good feeling that, we are in the right track. Somebody gets to feel at home. Obviously, you get these one-odd people also who come with different palettes, and they might not like it. As I said, this is again a South and North Indian. It's not a South Indian. The demography of Dubai, for that matter, since you asked that question, if I just step back and think about the demography of what Dubai is made of, vast majority are from the South Indians as well, from the South, from Kerala, Tamil Nadu and others. But at the same time, you have a vast majority of Gujaratis who are business people, plus other Sindhis and others as well. So it's a big community. It's a conglomerate. I mean, it's a cosmopolitan place where it's a melting pot of so many cultures and cuisines. And also, funny enough, Dubai, especially in the Karama area, the per square feet of number of restaurants that are there are probably is one among the top in the world, because there's so many restaurants. So what happens is you are always restricted by your seating capacity that you have. Right?
Yeah.
So if I walk into a place, for example, let's say where I have Oud Metha or Karama or wherever you walk into, say you want to dine at a particular place, you go see there, it's full. Now you have two options. You wait 15-20 minutes for you to be seated, or you just turn your head around and then you will find another one, and then you want to walk in there and have, because if you don't want to wait, you walk into another restaurant. So you're restricted by the seating capacity that you have. But if your food is good, people don't mind waiting as well.
True.
Okay.
True.
So we have had those times as well when we had people waiting, pre-bookings as well, so that we give them the opportunity to dine with us. But in terms of other cuisines, so in our Kailash Parbat, what we did, as I mentioned, the brand owner gave us a little leeway. So what we brought about is a bit of a Italian, cuisine as well. Italian, Chinese. We elaborated. They did have in their menu, but they had, let's say, 3-4 dishes. We expanded it to about 8 or 10 dishes or 15 dishes each. So we got Italian cuisine, we've got Chinese cuisine, and everything added up into our, apart from the Indian. Now, as I said, we're not going to serve everybody here. If it's not a fully Arabic restaurant, if somebody were to come, people would like one day to taste, and they might want to come to our place and taste it. So that's fine. That's fine. And every day people are not going to eat outside. And then they will always go back home.
Yeah.
They will always go back to their home food and other stuff. So we get those kind of people who always want to try home food, and they want to come here because the food tastes like that.
So in a way, you are helping a lot of people by helping them traveling back to the memory lane.
100%. I have seen that happen personally. So I was pretty much taken aback because I have never had Sindhi food, to be honest. I've never had. So you asked me what's the reason, why did you take this? But then when I tasted the food, it was very different from the palate. Remember, again, many of these are acquired taste. For example, I'll give you blue cheese. Many people might not like it because it gives you a bit of a pungent taste, but it's an acquired taste. I'm sure beer for the first time always tasted bitter.
Of course, yeah.
Then you acquire the taste, then you start drinking bottles.
You cannot go back.
So similarly, some of these, which has come from the childhood, we have always been born and brought up to have certain kind of food. I might love to go and try Italian, Mexican pizzas and everything, but then one fine day I will say I want to come back to my a rasam rice or a dal rice or something like that. I really want to go back to my simple staple food which have been eaten since childhood. So that's always there. So that's where we want to play, in that space where you'll get a home cooked food. And we are not a fine dine restaurant. Now we are on a lower scale. We want to put ourselves in a way where it's affordable for a common man as well.
Yeah.